What's up, folks? School's out for the summer, and all the kids are excited. Well, at least most of them are. There's a little boy named Chase that on his last day of school gets manhandled by one of the teachers because he got a little bit excited. He's got special needs. So instead of treating him like any other child, they laid hands on him. Folks, after watching this video and seeing how upset he was, it's like, boy, you know, if that was my child, I'd be behind bars right now because I would go down to that school and do anything they did to him, like times 10. But anyways, I'm going to show you this clip of this little boy and how upset he was. And then after that, I'm going to roll the clip of his mother sharing her piece. And I share this with you because I want you to continue to share this, kind of help spread awareness. Unlike me, the mother in this case kept a cool head, and I think she's doing it the right way. And I respect her for advocating in her son's behalf because you're a lot better than me, young lady, because like I said, I'd be in jail right now. All right, here we go.
Okay, so tell me what happened.
When I was dancing with my son, he got closet. They cracked my bone.
Who did that to you?
Miss Wilson, they cracked my bone. I can feel it.
So they put you in a restraint?
Yeah, they did this way. They held both of my hands. And they cracked my bone.
Okay, Bubba. You know that you have to be safe in school, right?
Right.
And I don't care that you didn't get a Renaissance card. It's okay.
I just need one. I never had.
I know. It's okay.
Oh,
okay.
It so hurts.
Your arm hurts?
Yeah.
Then they did okay. Okay.
Why would they do that to me?
The good news is it's the last day of school.
No, I'm not going to summer school this year. I can't. I had to do it. I had to do it at Eagleside and Webster 2 times.
Okay, we'll talk about alternatives, okay? Do I need to take you to the doctor?
No, it's alright, Mom. It hurts so bad.
You got 5 cents.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So I said I was going to post a video because I'm hoping to reach as many people as possible regarding my son Chase and what's going on with his school. To give you a little bit of a background on Chase and kind of the situation, this is pretty much nothing new for us. If you've seen the posts, we have been battling it out with his school and what they've been trying to do. My goal with this video is to obviously spread as much awareness as possible on, one, making sure that we as parents are the best advocates that we can possibly be for our children. We cannot just assume that the schools are there to take care of our children and look out in their best interests. To give you some background, and let me just start by saying that this has nothing to do with the teachers. I love the teachers. I don't think that they get paid enough for what they do. Unfortunately, they're not the ones that are making the executive decisions when it comes to our children. It's all the people above them. And that's the part of the system that I want changed. And I'm just one person. I may not change it, but if I can reach a couple parents who don't know how this game is played and what options and rights that they have and their children have, then this was all worth it. Because like I said, this is nothing new for us. So to give you some background on Chase, he is 9 years old now. He was originally diagnosed with autism when he was about 18 months old. His original prognosis was that he was never going to speak, read, or write. Now the child has an IQ of over 142. The last time we checked it was 142, which was last year. He is so high functioning. He's wild, he's fun. He's actually really, really funny. Kind of inappropriate at times. But he's an amazing child. And let me tell you, when you're a parent of a child with autism or any disability, it's funny, like the doctor just gives you the diagnosis and then that's it. That's it. There is nobody there to hold your hand through the whole process. So you have got to figure out very quickly, okay, what can I do for my child? And immediately upon getting his diagnosis, I was on that phone calling everybody, any kind of therapist you can think of, speech therapist, occupational therapist, you name it. I was calling them and got him the help right away. The big thing that also helped Chase is that I have never let him feel as though he's different, and I have never let him get treated by other people differently. And then I always have the people that say, oh, he doesn't look autistic. Please don't ever say that to a parent who has a child that's autistic. I don't even know what that means, but you look like an idiot when you say it, so just don't say that. But it's so offensive, it's not even funny. But my thing is that in school, I have never allowed him to be in what we would all remember as special ed classrooms. They now call them center-based classrooms. And the previous school that we were at tried putting him in there, and we saw such severe regression. We had to get the Colorado Department of Education involved. Like I said, this is nothing new for us, because I refuse to have my son segregated. I don't care. I'm not buying into the game. Those classrooms are nothing more than just an easier place to rally up children with special needs and keep them away from what we would all consider the normal children, because our children don't fit into the mold of what schools want. So it's a lot easier to put them in a classroom together than integrate them with the other children. And I am sorry, but in the real world, when Chase grows up, there's not going to be a separate Walmart and a separate restaurant and separate stores for people who have autism to go to. He's going to have to deal with people that are considered normal someday, and he needs to get those skills while he's in school. And putting them in classrooms with their sugar-coated names, I'm not buying into it. The big thing for us, and then this, let me just show you that this has been going on for quite a while. This is Chase's file. This right here is just from this year. But this thing, I would suggest every parent get one of these and keep it organized. I don't know if you can see it, but I have it like organized from year to year with diagnoses, school stuff, therapy stuff, you name it, it's all in here. So every parent needs one of those, because when you walk into an IEP meeting with that thing, it's a little intimidating because they know you're organized, you got your you-know-what together. Here's what's going on. January, we met with his school for an IEP meeting and to discuss goals, whatever. And someday I'll do another video to discuss what are correct goals for IEP meetings, because some parents just don't know. The big thing that I would suggest is knowing this. Every parent needs to know this. You know this. You are armed with so much information that it's not even funny. Here's what's going on. They decided in January when we met that the only option for Chase was to go into a center-based program for kids with behavioral problems. That's great. So let's take all the behaviors he has now and replace them with new behaviors. That makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, let's just lower the bar, right? So we're going to take him out of a general education classroom setting that he's been in for 4 years, and now we're going to put him in a classroom that he's already been in at a previous school and has shown that behaviors never stopped, more behaviors increased, and he actually regressed. So, that makes a lot of sense, but it's going to make your jobs more easier. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that, because that's definitely in the best interest of Chase. Absolutely not. I went and visited the school. The special ed teacher told me that he would get to ride on a special bus. I'm not kidding you, a special bus. Right after that meeting, I went ahead and filed a complaint with the Colorado Department of Education. Obviously, once that happened, the whole idea got thrown out of the water. Not to mention, I had my advocate there. Not my advocate, actually Chase's advocate, which I would highly suggest every parent get. They are free, and they are there to look out in the best interest of your child. So you need to get an advocate, because last week at the meeting, we didn't have our advocate there because here's the other problem. Every time that there is a meeting, the law states that they have 10 days to give you notice of meeting. Then the notice of meeting looks like this. It will say notice of meeting. It will then tell you, and this is the one they sent me. I want everybody to look at this. Let me see if you can see it. The follow-up and extended school year determination. Okay? That is what the meeting is to be about. Unfortunately, we get there, and they inform me that Chase is going to this center-based program at another school, effective immediately. There's nothing I can do about it. That's exactly what they told me. Now, where we are at is I have filed due process with the state of Colorado and requested a hearing. The problem is, what has pushed me over the edge to get me to where I'm at today doing this video is biological dad is overseas. He's in Iraq, and he's there for 9 months out of the year. He was appearing via phone. Well, he bought their Kool-Aid. He was so about this program. The minute they knew that there was no united front, that I disagreed and he agreed, apparently the school took it upon themselves to send my ex-husband a letter last week for approving the transportation of our son. As of yesterday, they were going to show up here at my house without my knowledge or consent. And I'm not kidding. I had no idea any of this happened until I spoke with my ex-husband last night. But they were going to show up here yesterday morning at 7:30 to pick Chase up in their special bus and bus him off to a school that he has never seen, that he's never been to, that I've never seen, that I've never been to. They sent him a letter saying, we need you to sign the transportation agreement so that he can be bused to the new school next week. And we need copies of your divorce decree showing that you guys have joint decision making. Well, thank God my ex-husband was smart enough to realize that they were up to something the minute they asked for the divorce decree. Hence the reason why he told me yesterday. But unfortunately, the bus didn't show up because I had already followed due process. And the problem with due process is once you file it, there's a stay put law. They can't do anything to Chase until we go to court. So that is where we are at. Parents, enough already. I cannot be one of those parents that just throws my hands in the air and says homeschool's the only option. My son and every kid out there deserves an education, free, appropriate public education. It's called FAPE. In the LRE, least restrictive environment. I'm throwing out the lingo here that they throw at you parents every time you go to those meetings, okay? Least restrictive environment is not one of those central-based programs. Let me just tell you that. Don't let them sugarcoat it. That is not what these children need. These children need to be integrated in with the regular kids in school. That is the only way they are going to learn those skills of how to be functioning human beings someday, not by corralling them up into a classroom of similar peers and expecting them to learn something. It's not okay. Enough's enough. I'm not buying into that system, and it needs to change. And the only way it's going to change is by parents educating themselves, advocating for their kids. You cause waves. Who cares? You're not there to make friends. You're not there to look wonderful in front of the school district. I don't care. They hate my guts. I don't care. I'm there to make sure that my son gets an education like everybody else, that he's treated right, which leads me to they've used the SRO officer, the security resource officer, to intimidate him. He's told the other kids not to play with Chase. We've brought up the bullying thing. It's always been, pushed aside like it's not a big deal. They've put Chase in restraints. We can go all day long about stuff that they've done. I've had it. It's time. The time is here for parents to start sticking up for their kids, advocate, hold these schools accountable. You do have more rights than what you know, and you know what's in the best interest of your child. So, with that being said, that's what's going on. There's a lot more, but in a nutshell, that's what's going on. So we will see what happens next week at due process. See you later.
And that, folks, is a real mother. That's a mother advocating for her kid, and I got a lot of respect for her. Anyways, help her out by sharing this video with all your friends on your Facebook. Help raise a little bit of awareness. And folks, if you ever see anything bad happen to another child or see somebody getting bullied, get involved. And if it's your own child, be ready to die for that child. Don't ever let anything slide like that. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.